How to take shallow depth of field photos. Before you start, stand about 2 to 3 feet away from the object you want to take a photo of. Also, make sure there's empty space behind this object so the background can become blurred. Okay, here is how you take shallow depth of field photos. First, you'll turn your camera on. Then on your program dial, you're going to turn it so that the little A lines up with this white dot, okay? This puts it on aperture priority mode. Now, we've seen this message before. We're gonna go ahead, press this button, and rotate to extend the lens, okay? Now, we're going to look at this number right here, and we're going to use this dial to change it, okay? We wanna make it the smallest number that it can possibly go. So I'm going one way, it's too big, going the other way. Okay, so right now, the smallest number I can get is gonna be 3.5, okay? This also means that the aperture, the lens, is the widest open that it can possibly be, okay? Here we go, let's take a look. We're looking through the viewfinder, all right? As of right now, the pencil holder is blurry and the background is focused. If you press the shutter button very lightly, what'll happen is it will autofocus. So now we have the pencil holder focused and the background blurry. I'm gonna go ahead and take that picture. As you can see, the background is nice and blurry and the pencil cup is very clear and focused. So to review, here are all the steps for taking shallow depth of field photos. First, stand 2 to 3 feet from your subject and make sure there's plenty of room behind. Put your camera on aperture priority mode. Move the dial so your aperture is on the smallest number possible, so f3 to f5, something like that. Then lightly press the shutter to focus. Then take your picture. Here are some things to avoid. These will not give you shallow depth of field photos. If you take a photo and there is not much space behind your object, like if there wasn't all that emptiness, it wouldn't really show up as shallow depth of field. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so I have moved a folder right behind these pencils. So I'm gonna focus. Take a look at this photo. The folder is way too close to the camera, so there is not any space at all behind the pencil cup. This happens a lot. Sometimes people will take photos directly in front of a wall, but in order to get that nice, smooth, blurred background, you need to have a lot of space behind your subject. If you take a look right now, our aperture is on f29, and this is what a photo on f29 would look like. As you can see, everything in this photo is focused. That is not considered shallow depth of field at all. In order to make sure that you do have some blurriness, the main thing you have to do is make sure that your aperture is on a very small number. If you follow all of those steps, you will have a beautiful shallow depth of field photo.